Yeah, everyone's here. We're ready to go.
Yeah.
Excellent. Well, nice to meet you all. I can see it's Lucy, Sarah, Natasha, and Helen, and Natalie. So yeah, so pleased that you could join me this evening. I'm Lizzie. So I'm based in Shropshire, Shrewsbury, which is sort of on the border to Wales. And yeah, I've been teaching yoga now for probably a year and a half now. And yeah, yoga is like a really big passion to me. And it brings me so much joy to practice it myself, and the joy that it brings me, I just want to share with others. So yeah, that's my reason for practicing yoga. Really, it's just so much love and joy. So that's what I want to share with you this evening. And yeah, just a couple of little, just to remind us about the class. If any of you are new to yoga is a non-competitive practice, but I know, like in a class setting, when you're in a group of people, it can be sort of quite easy to compare yourself to another person and, try and force yourself into a pose that might not necessarily feel right or comfortable for you. So yoga is all about just bringing that sort of inner body awareness to yourself and just listening to the body, listening to what feels good, listening to what doesn't feel good. And yeah, if you're feeling any pain at any point throughout the practice, just very gently ease out of that pose, really listening and practice for you, solely for you. It's not about anyone else, it's just about that self-care. And yeah, one other little thing really is just in yoga, we tend to breathe in and out through the nose. So see if you can try and practice that this evening. But if you can't, if you do struggle, it's okay to breathe out the mouth. You don't need to stop breathing. So just a couple of little things really before we get started. So yeah, if you're all ready, let's now begin in Sukhasana, which is easy seated pose. So actually, I was going to say, if you've got like a blanket or a small pillow or a cushion just to prop underneath your sitting bones, and let's just cross the legs, lengthening through the spine, gently rolling the shoulders back and down, ever so slightly tucking the chin in. Okay. Once you feel comfortable, then just gently close the eyes. And as you close your eyes, or even taking a light gaze, let's just begin now by arriving in the space here and now. And I'd like you to park any worries, concerns, plans, lists at the door for this hour. And I assure you can come back to those at the end of this session. As we're here in this moment, I'd like you to begin by just bringing your awareness to your external environment outside of your body. And maybe start to take notice of any smells. So maybe there's a smell coming from the kitchen if you're near the kitchen, the temperature, and if there's any sounds as well. So is it warm in the room? Is it cold? Can you hear any sounds immediately in the room or outside of the room? And just observe those sensations. And then just notice if there's any sort of feelings, emotions that arise from noticing those sensations. And if there is anything that arises, let it come. And then see if you can just accept it. Just say, okay, let it go. And then I'd like you to bring your awareness to your entire being, your whole body. And I want you to ask yourselves how you're feeling this evening. And we can sort of see how we're feeling, maybe by just taking a small little body scan. So going from the head, which includes the mind, down the neck, the length of the spine, the arms, the hands, the length of the spine, down to the pelvis, the legs and the feet. And then back up again. And are there any sort of sensations sensations that arise. So is there any sort of tension, any pain? If there's any tension, pain, just for a very brief moment, just pinpoint where that is. So it might even just be in the mind, or you may be feeling absolutely calm and relaxed, and that's great too. You know, we feel different every single day. And the thing is, it's good to acknowledge how we feel and to accept it. So now that you've pinpointed whatever there is, hopefully today's practice will just ease out that sort of tension through breath work, through the postures, and through relaxation. So just begin to take note of your sitting bones against the ground, maybe noticing your feet against the ground, the knees, maybe your hands on your knees. Taking note of your pelvis and then your spine stacked on top of the pelvis, moving up the spine to the neck, and then just noticing the head propped on top of the spine and the neck. So just feeling your entire body, your entire being. And then I'd like you now to bring your awareness to your breath. And how is your breath this evening? So just begin to bring your awareness to the rhythm and the quality of the breath in this moment. Just observe. So maybe the breath is relatively calm and relaxed. Or maybe the breath is a little bit tender, a little bit shallow. And that's okay. The important thing is that you become aware of your breath. And in doing so, then we can sort of learn where the breath is, understand where the breath is, and then maybe start to slow it down. So when our breath is shallow and fast, that normally suggests that we're maybe a little bit stressed. So we're sort of in the sympathetic nervous system, we're sort of more a little bit in fight or flight. And if the breath is sort of relatively calm and relaxed, that means we're sort of in the parasympathetic nervous system. So rest or digest, we're feeling relaxed. So we're going to work on bringing that awareness to the breath and just working on slowing down the breath as well. So start to inhale deeply through the nose. And as you do so, draw the shoulders towards the ears. And then on your exhale, you're going to take a long breath out the mouth. Inhale through the nose, bring the shoulders up towards the ears. And then exhale out the mouth. One more time, inhale, bring the shoulders up towards the ears. Exhale, let it all out the mouth. Now that the shoulders are feeling a little bit relaxed now, so we carry a lot of tension in the shoulders. Let's start working on that breath. So I'd like you to start inhaling and exhaling in and out of the nostrils. Really notice the breath in the nostrils. So bring your attention to your two nostrils as you breathe in and out. And see if you can start to slow that down as well. So take a deep inhalation through the nose. And then slowly exhale out the nose. Inhale through the nostrils. Exhale out the nostrils. And just begin to notice and do that on your own just for a few moments. So continue breathing now in and out through the nostrils. See if you can keep that slow, steady pace by just taking deep inhalations and deep exhalations. And then as you breathe in through the nostrils, I'd like you to notice the breath going down the throat now. Just pay attention to the throat for a few moments as you breathe in and out. And then I'd like to place your hands, so your fingers on your collarbones, and sort of your palms sort of on your chest. And as you inhale now, I'd like you to notice the rise of the chest and the collarbones. And as you exhale, just noticing the fall of the collarbones and chest. See if you can keep that length in the spine at the same time, so sitting up straight if you can. Breathing into that chest. And then exhaling out the nostrils as the chest lowers. Breathe into the chest. And then exhale out the nostrils as the chest lowers. And just do that on your own for a few moments. Okay, keep breathing in and out of the nostrils. And then I'd like you to place your thumbs, your hands sort of just at the bottom of your rib cage. Keep the head straight. And then as you inhale, noticing the expansion of the rib cage. And then as you exhale, just noticing that rib cage deflate. As you inhale, noticing the expansion of the rib cage and maybe the contraction of the back. And then as you exhale, just noticing the deflation. Inhale, contract, expand. Exhale, deflate. Just do that on your own for a few moments. So we're just really becoming aware of our breath in the different parts of our body, the movement in the body, really bringing ourselves to the present moment. The most present moment that we can find is with the breath. Okay, and then placing both your hands on your belly now. On your next inhalation, see if you can gently let that belly move out. So filling up that pelvic bowl that the belly sits on top of. So inhale, the belly moves out, the lower back contracts. And then as you exhale, that belly draws in and up. As you inhale, the belly moves out, the diaphragm lowers. As you exhale, the belly draws in and the diaphragm moves in and up. As you inhale, the belly rises, moves out. As you exhale, the belly draws in and up. Just let that movement be relatively natural. Don't try to force it too hard. You want this to be comfortable. We want to be in a seated, comfortable position. Just breathing steadily with ease. So a saying in yoga and Sanskrit is sthira and sukha. So finding a pose with steadiness and ease, sthira and sukha. If we can find steadiness and ease in the body, in our poses, in our meditation, that can help us to find stillness and oneness in our practice. So inhaling, the belly moves out. Exhale, the belly draws in. Now, if your mind is wandering already by this point, which is perfectly normal and natural, see if you can just keep coming back. So bringing your attention back to that breath, back to that belly breath. And now if you find that difficult, you can just use visualization. So imagine that your thoughts, those thoughts that are coming up, are like clouds in a deep blue sky. And then just let those clouds float away. Or you can also imagine that those thoughts like waves in an ocean. Let that wave come, and then let the wave wash over you. Almost imagine you can hear the sound of that wave, and then as it comes crashing over, it washes over. It's just a few little things that you can work with when your thoughts are sort of all over the place. So coming back to that belly breath, inhaling through the nostrils, expanding the belly moves out. And then as you exhale, the belly draws in and up. As you inhale, the belly draws out. And then as you exhale, the belly draws in and up. So just coming back now to normal rhythmic breathing. Maybe bringing your palms on your knees. Just gently keeping the eyes closed and just taking a few moments here now. And within these few moments, I just want you to repeat these affirmations after me. Maybe just repeat them to yourselves in your mind's eye. Maybe holding them in your belly or in your chest, wherever you feel is comfortable for you. I am breathing. I am this moment. I am balancing. I breathe in peace. I breathe out love. I am breathing. I am this moment. I am balancing. I breathe in peace. I breathe out love. I am breathing. I am this moment. I am balancing. I breathe in peace. I breathe out love. So just gently letting those words sit with you for a few moments. Just letting them set the tone. Maybe then those words circulate around your entire being, your entire body. And then when you're ready, very gently just releasing those words. And then when you're ready, gently opening your eyes. Okay. Now we're going to hopefully, you're feeling sort of relatively calm and relaxed. So we're going to move into a bit of movement now, just warming up, and then we'll go into some poses. So just if your legs are sort of a bit uncomfortable from being seated cross-legged, because I am aware people do get sort of tired legs or uncomfortable legs. So if you want to stretch your legs out in front of you, you can take a wide sort of seated stance, or you can just cross over the legs that you had folded, so doing it from the opposite side. Or alternatively, you can also sit on your knees. So just a couple of positions that you can work with, just having your hands on your knees for the moment. So let's just begin by just giving our neck a little bit of nice movement now. So just doing a few head rotations. So pointing your nose, so bringing your head over to the left. Take an inhalation, start to draw a circle with the nose. Inhale on the upward movement, and then exhale on the downward movement. Inhale on the upward movement, and then exhale on the downward movement. And just doing a few more of those, and just begin to bring your awareness now to your neck and how it feels, and any sort of sensations that arise. Okay, and let's go in the opposite direction now. How does this feel on this side now compared to the other side? So are you feeling more stiffness in the neck or in the upper shoulders? Really begin to take note of how your body is feeling and what your body is telling you. And see if you can breathe into that neck, breathe into the shoulder space. Okay, and then very gently coming back to center. And now I'd like you to place your left hand onto the mat. So just stretch it out a little bit to the side, taking an inhalation, raising that right arm overhead. And then as you start to laterally bend, exhale, so you're getting a really nice stretch now through the right hand side of the body. Inhale, raise that arm back up to center. And then exhale, lower it all the way down. Okay, inhale, raising that left arm all the way up overhead. And then exhale, start to laterally bend.
Just feeling a really good stretch down the left-hand side of the body here. Keep breathing. Inhale back to center. Exhale, release. Okay, now really good stretch. Exhale. Inhale, back up. Exhale, release. Inhale, raising that left arm overhead. Stretch, exhale. Really good stretch on the side of the body there. Inhale, coming all the way up. Exhale, release. Okay. Inhale, raising those arms overhead so they're in line with the shoulders now. And then on your next exhalation, I'd like to bring your right hand onto your left knee, and then exhale, looking over the left shoulder, so you're bringing your left hand behind you on the ground. Just doing a nice twist here now. Inhale, raising those arms back up to center. Exhale, twist over to the right hand side, looking over the right shoulder, so you're bringing that left hand on the left knee, right knee, sorry. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, twist over to the left, look over the left shoulder. One more time. Inhale, raise those arms overhead. Exhale, twist over to the right. Inhale, back to center. Raise those arms in line with the ears. Draw the navel in towards the spine. And then exhale, start to fold forward. Just stretching those arms out. See if you can bring the forehead down to the ground. Just lengthening through the spine now. So however you're seated, on your knees or if you're cross-legged, that's fine. Just see if you can keep length in the spine. So if you can't come all the way down, that's absolutely fine. Just breathe. And then very slowly inhale, raising those arms back. Okay, so we're just going to do a couple of seated cat-cows. So really opening up that heart space and really working on flexing the spine. So placing both your hands on your knees, come into a cross-legged pose. So I'd like to inhale, then push your chest forward and up. So that you're just gently sort of bending the elbows now. So you're bringing your shoulder blades onto the back of your rib cage on your back. So really feeling that chest space open. Inhale through the nose. And then on your exhalation, I'd like you to then sort of round that back, bring your chin towards your chest, straighten those arms. So imagine, so if you've ever done sort of a cat-cow pose, this is the seated version, so we're almost in cat. Inhale, bring that chest forward, open up that chest, so then really rolling those shoulders back. Tilt the head. Inhale. Exhale, round that back, straighten those arms so your chin is coming towards your chest. Inhale, bring the chest forward, tilt the head back. Exhale, round that back. Inhale, chest forward. Exhale, round it back. And just do a few more of those on your own, making them as slow or as steady as is comfortable for you. A few more of those. And then gently coming back to center. So bringing the soles of your feet together. So let's just get our legs sort of working and our hips just moving a little bit. So wrapping your hands around your feet. And then just see how far you can drop those knees down. So lengthening through the spine, grounding down through the sitting bones. And then just gently just butterfly the legs. So just inhaling and exhaling in and out of the nostrils. Just getting everything moving nicely and gently at the same time. See if you can find that steadiness and ease in the body. Okay, and then when you're ready, very gently, just bring your hands to your knees. Inhale, draw the knees in towards you. And then inhale, hug those knees, maybe lifting the feet off the ground. Well done. And then exhale, just dropping those feet back down. Okay, now coming onto your knees, we're going to move into a downward dog. But let's just give, I always feel like our toes get neglected. So just sitting back on your heels, bringing your weight into your tippy toes and just taking a few moments here now. Just pressing into those toes, stretching those toes, just getting them moving and warmed up nicely. Just breathing in and out the nostrils. Okay, and then when you're ready, just bringing your hands now to the front of the mat. So I'd like your hands to be shoulder distance apart. Bring your weight into the fingertips and imagine you've got a bit of suction going on between the palms and the mat. So I'm almost imagine like you've got Spider-Man hands, okay? So we're in a tabletop here, so your knees are sort of directly below the hips, hip distance apart, and then bring your weight into your tippy toes. On your next exhalation, lift those knees up and back. And then as you lift the knees up and start to push those thighs and those hips up and back towards the roof, just start to lift one heel at a time, so making sure your feet are hip distance apart. So really broadening through the shoulders. See if you can lengthen through the spine. Okay, and when you're ready, so then placing, if you're able to drop the heel of the right foot completely down, great. If not, it's okay if it's lifted off the ground a little bit. Not everyone can always get that heel completely down. Okay, so take an inhalation, raising the right leg up high. And then exhale, bring that knee all the way through as far as you can. Then bring that foot in between the hands, dropping the left knee to the ground into Anjanasana, low lunge. So in low lunge, I want your kneecap and your right ankle to be roughly aligned. Okay, and your hands are framing that front foot, and you can be on your fingertips. So ever so slightly now, just draw the hip bones back, so you're drawing your bottom back just a tiny little bit. And by doing so, we engage the core, because we're always really working from the deep core in yoga. If we want to have that strength, to have the flexibility in the poses. Take an inhalation and lift that torso up using your core. Inhale, coming all the way up, and then exhale, rolling those shoulders back down, really reaching towards the ground with your fingers. Okay, so keep squeezing your glutes, your bottom. Inhale, raising the arms through in line with the shoulders. Exhale, lowering the hands all the way down to the ground, onto your palms. Inhale, raising that left knee off the ground. Exhale, bring that right foot to meet that left foot back into a downward dog. Again, just pedaling those legs out. If you need to, feet are hip distance apart, hands are shoulder distance apart, really spreading the weight in those fingers. Inhale, raising the left leg up as high as you can. Exhale, bring that knee through all the way towards the chest. Kick that foot forward in between the hands, dropping the right knee to the ground. Okay, so coming into Anjanasana, low lunge again. So just checking that the kneecap and the ankle are aligned. You're framing the front foot and you're in your fingertips. So as well, you may have noticed I'm bringing my weight into my tippy toes, but you can have that back foot flat as well. It's all about personal preference, okay? So just finding what feels good and feels right for you. This is your yoga practice. So ever so slightly, just tucking that, taking that bottom back just a tiny little bit. And as you do so, draw the navel in and up and start to engage the core. Inhale, raising the torso up. Exhale, rolling the shoulders back and down. Okay. Really reaching towards the ground. So you're really bringing those shoulder blades onto the back of the rib cage. Okay, then inhale, raising the arms in line with the ears. Breathe, squeezing the glutes. Exhale, lowering the hands all the way down onto the ground, bringing your weight into your fingertips. Inhale, lifting that right knee off the ground. And then exhale, bring your right foot to meet your left foot at the front of the mat. Bring a good bend in those knees now. And then just let your arms hang loose, maybe taking opposite elbows. Just taking a moment here, breathe. Just taking your time. And then when you're ready, very steadily, just coming up one vertebrae by vertebrae at a time. With the head, the last to come up. Inhale as you come up. Exhale, coming to center. Okay, so coming into our starting stance, Tadasana. So big toes touching, heels apart, sort of tucking that tailbone in, lengthening through the spine. So you can have your hands on your thighs, or you can have the palms facing the front of the room, and rolling those shoulders back and sort of broadening through the collarbones. And then closing your eyes, taking a moment here. And I just want you to notice your body, notice your breath, notice the ground beneath your feet, and noticing whether there's balance, equal balance between both feet, or whether there's weight more on one foot opposed to the other. And we're always working from the ground up in yoga. So we're always receiving energy from the earth through our feet into our connective tissues. And then we are sort of pushing energy out of the body through our bones as well. So we're just drawing in that energy through our connective tissues. So just breathing evenly and deeply. And gently opening your eyes, bringing your hands to heart center. Taking an inhalation, circle, sweeping those arms overhead, palms together. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, circle, sweep those arms overhead, palms together. Exhale, hands to heart center. One more time. Inhale, circle, sweep those arms up, palms together. Exhale, hands to heart center. Okay, so if you're not already standing at the front of your mat, 1 foot from the front of the mat, we're just going to do one sort of vinyasa, which is like a one sun salutation essentially. So tailbone tucked in, starting in Pramanasana prayer pose, hands to heart center. So your thumbs can be where your sternum is. Tailbone tucked in. Inhale, raise those arms overhead, palms together, coming into Hasta Uttanasana, raised arm pose. Exhale, fold forward, and as you fold forward, bring a good bend into the knees. Coming into Padahastanasana, hands either side of your feet, forehead towards your knees. And then I'd like you to step both feet all the way back towards the back. And then exhale, bring your shoulders over the top of your wrist, so tucking that tailbone in, coming into plank pose, Phalakasana. Breathe, inhale, and then on your next exhale, you can exhale, either drop the knees, or you can press yourself all the way down, keeping your elbows tucked in. Point those toes, squeeze the glutes. Keep the elbows in, inhale, lift the chest and then the belly and then the head into cobra. If you can't come as far up, just lift that chest, baby cobra. Exhale, lowering the head all the way down, pushing your hands into the mat. Bring your weight into your tippy toes. Exhale, lift the chest, the hips and the knees up and back into a downward dog. So making sure your hands are shoulder distance apart and your feet are hip distance apart. And then very slowly, we're just going to walk our feet in towards our hands now, bringing a good bend into the knees now as we meet the hands, just coming into a forward fold. And then inhale, raising those arms all the way overhead, palms together. Exhale, hands to heart center. Okay, so from here now, you can either have your feet together or you can have your feet hip distance apart. Bringing your arms either side for the moment, rolling the shoulders back in there. Taking an inhalation, raising the arms overhead, Interlocking the hands, and then as you do so, I'd like to push the palms up on your exhalation. So exhale, and then lift the heels off the ground. So bring your weight onto your balls of your feet, into your big toes, and just see how long you can hold this for. So feeling a good stretch down the side body now, really strengthening those feet, really bringing your weight into your toes, the big toes. Exhale, lowering the arms and then the heels. Inhale, raising those arms overhead. Interlock the hands. Exhale, push the palms up in, and then lift those heels off the ground. And then breathe, grinding down through those big toes. Keep those heels lifted. Keep that sort of strength in those legs, squeezing the legs, squeezing the glutes. And then exhale, lowering the arms and then the heels. Okay, well done everyone. Okay, so keeping those feet together or having your feet hip distance apart. So we've just moved from like a Tadasana mountain pose variation. We're going to move into Utkatasana, chair pose. So you can either have your feet together or you can have your feet sort of hip distance apart. So to begin with, take an inhalation, bringing your arms up to shoulder height. So you can have your arms to shoulder height, or you can have the arms in line with the ears. So this evening, I'm just going to go with shoulder height for me. And then on your next exhalation, I'd like to bring a really good bend into the knees. As you bend into the knees, keep that length in the spine. So imagine you're sat back on a chair, but I still want you to be able to see your toes. So you're bringing your weight into your heels. Just breathe. And then inhale, coming all the way back up to center. Raise those arms. Exhale. Release. Okay. Again. Inhale, bringing those arms up to center. So they're in the shoulder height. And then exhale, bending those knees. So coming down as far as you can now. So keep that length in the spine. Breathe, keep that tailbone tucked in. Bringing your hands to heart center. And then exhale, twist over to the left. Just hooking that right elbow to the left knee. Inhale back to center. Exhale, twist over to the right, hooking your left elbow just to the right of the knee. Inhale to center. And then raise those arms, coming all the way up. Exhale, releasing the arms down. Well done, okay. Keeping the feet together now. Take an inhalation, stepping your left foot back about 3 or 4 feet. So I'd like your right foot to be at 12 o'clock. So imagine that your mat is like a clock. So your foot at the front of the mat is 12 o'clock, and your left foot is at sort of 10 or 11 o'clock. So your heels are aligned here, but you may find that you're a little bit unsteady. And if you're feeling a little bit unsteady, you can just shift that right foot just over to the right a little bit more. I like your hips to be square. Tuck that tailbone in. Lengthen through the spine, grounding down through those feet. So really spreading the weight. So I want you to imagine the sort of the 4 points of balance in the feet are in the big toe, the balls at the front of the feet, and the balls at the back of the foot. And that's the same for the front and back foot as well. Okay. Inhale, raising those arms in line with the shoulders. And then on your next exhalation, bring a right angle now into that front leg, okay? So I want your right kneecap to be in line with the right ankle. Okay, just breathe. So if you want a deeper stretch, you can just shift that right foot forward a little bit more so that you get that right angle now, so that leg is, that thigh is parallel with the mat. Keep lengthening through the arms. Keep rounding down through that back leg. Exhale. Cactus your arms now, so bring your shoulder blades onto the back of your rib cage. Inhale, raise the arms. Exhale, cactus the arms. Inhale, raise the arms. Exhale, cactus. Inhale, raise the arms. Exhale, release the arms. Interlock the hands behind your back. So now I'd like you to inhale, just straighten that front leg, and then just maybe step your left foot forward about half a step, okay? So just bringing the legs in together just a little bit more. So I want you to keep your hips square on, so they're sort of in the pointing in the direction at the front of the mat. So straightening out that front leg, keeping the hips balanced, so want your hips and your legs to be level as well. Interlock the shoulders behind your back, draw the navel in towards the spine, and then exhale, see if you're able to just come down halfway now. Okay, so you're going to be feeling quite a strong stretch down the right hamstring now, and then inhale, raising your arms up vertically. So if you've got a bend in that front knee of the front leg, that's okay if you need to. But you'll work towards straightening that front leg if you can, okay? Just breathing. And then inhaling, coming all the way up very steadily and slowly. Inhale, exhale, release those arms. And then bring that left foot to meet the right foot at the front of the mat. Okay. Taking an inhalation now, stepping that right foot back. So the left foot now is at 12 o'clock, and the right foot is either going to be at sort of 1 or 2 o'clock. And again, if you're feeling really unsteady, because a lot of these yoga poses were originally designed by men for men in India, and you know, men do have slightly narrower hips than women, so you can just shift that left foot over to the left a little bit more, and that gives you a little bit more space in the pelvis, a little bit more space in the hips. Okay, and if you're quite tall like me as well, you can just shift your front foot forward a little bit more, drawing those hip bones up, tug that tailbone. So coming into warrior one, Virabhadrasana one, lengthening through the spine. Inhale, raising those arms in line with the ears, grounding down through those feet. Remember those 4 points of focus we talked about, and then see if you can now start to breathe into the body. Exhale, bending, bringing a bend into that front leg. Okay, and then you just want to work towards bringing that thigh parallel to the ground. So really grounding down through that back foot. Can you find steadiness and ease in the pose? And if you do have any sort of judgmental thoughts that arise, see if you can just send love and kindness to those thoughts. Exhale, cactus those arms, so bring the shoulder blades onto the back of the rib cage. Inhale, raise the arms. Exhale, cactus. Inhale, raise the arms. Exhale, cactus, really opening up that heart space, that chest. Inhale, raise the arms. Exhale, release those arms, and then interlock the hands behind your back. So bring the palms together, bring the shoulder blades together. And see if you can straighten that front leg. Breathe. Maybe stepping the right foot in ever so slightly. So you're taking a slightly shorter stance now. So keep those hips square on. Draw the navel in towards the spine. And then start to exhale, start to fold forward, just coming down halfway now, okay? And then raise those arms up vertically, keep squeezing the shoulder blades. So you're imagining actually that you're drawing your left hip back slightly and you're drawing that right hip back, and that helps you to find that sort of balance in the hips, that sort of equal levelness, and also that steadiness. Breathe. And then very slowly, when you're ready, inhaling, coming all the way up. Exhale, release those arms, and then bring the right foot to meet the left foot at the front of the mat. Okay. Just one more standing balancing pose before we really start to relax now. Really grounding down now through that left foot. Bringing a micro bend now into that left knee, and just begin by bringing your hands onto your hips, so lengthening through the spine. Then I'd like you to bring your right heel just above your left ankle. Okay, so externally rotating that right hip now. Okay, this is option 1, you can stay here. Option 2, bringing that foot onto the left calf. Okay, so keeping the hips square as well as externally rotating that right hip. If you want even more of a challenge, you can bring that foot onto the thigh, okay, onto the left thigh. And then bringing the hands to heart center. And just noticing all the tiny little movements your left foot is making. So really strengthening through that left leg, rounding down through the foot. Bringing your arms either side. Just gently imagine you're away, a tree blowing in the wind. I was going to say a wave blowing in the wind. A tree blowing in the wind. Bringing your arms overhead, inhaling, palms together. And then exhale, bringing the hands all the way down to heart center. And then just releasing that leg wherever it is. And then just giving that right foot just a little bit of a shake. Okay. Really grounding down through that right foot, bringing a micro bend into the right knee. Okay, hands onto your hips. And then just begin now by placing your left heel just above your right ankle. So again, we're squaring the hips now. The hips is just facing the front of the room. But you've got a slight external rotation of the left hip now. So this is option 1, you can stay here. Option 2, inhale, bringing that foot onto the calf. That's option 2. Breathe, option 3, bringing it right onto the thigh. So wherever you're at, okay, and then bring those hands to heart center. Just noticing all the tiny little movements your foot is having to make. Grounding down through that right foot. Breathing in and out of the nostrils. Seeing if you can find that steadiness and ease, that stira and that sukha. Bringing your arms out to the sides. Imagine you're a tree blowing in the wind. And then inhale, raising those arms overhead. Palms together. And then exhale, bringing the hands all the way to heart center. And then releasing that left leg down. And then just giving the legs a good shake. Okay. And then from here, just coming all the way down onto your knees, sitting back onto the heels, drawing the navel in towards the spine. And then exhaling, folding forward. Just bringing your forehead to the ground, arms either side, just coming into Balasana, child's pose. So just taking a moment here to connect the mind, the body, and the breath. And as you connect the mind, the body, and the breath, just seeing if you can feel that all points of contact with your body against the ground, finding that support of the mat, feeling fully supported, feeling held and comfortable. And if you have any judgmental thoughts that are arising, see if you can keep sending love, keep breathing to those thoughts, sending love from your breath to the thoughts. Okay. And then very slowly inhaling, coming all the way up to center. Exhale, release. And then from here, come to sitting on your bottom. And I'd like you to straighten out your left leg. Okay. And then I'd like you to bring your right foot onto your left thigh. So yeah, on that side, that's it. You can see me. So lengthening through the spine and taking a micro twist now, so that your torso is in line with that left leg, flexing the left foot. Okay, moving into Janushirasana. Taking an inhalation, raising those arms through line with the shoulders, so just making sure that both your sitting bones are firmly grounded if possible. Draw the navel in towards the spine, and then exhale, start to fold forward to keep that length in the spine. So your hands are either going to come either side of the feet, or you're going to take opposite, take hold of the toes. You can either have them by the calves or on the toes, okay. Then lengthen through that spine. Keep the neck sort of in line as well with the rest of the spine. You're going to be feeling quite a deep hamstring stretch here, but also working on opening up that hip, breathing into that hip. So in yoga, you know, the pose is not the destination. The pose is there to aid us and assist us, and it's a tool essentially to help us to find a quiet mind so that when we do meditate, we're in a much sort of softer place. Inhale, raising those arms up in line with your shoulders. Exhale, releasing. Opposite side, so straightening out through that right leg. Bring your left foot onto the right thigh. Again, grounding now through those sitting bones. Taking a slight micro twist so that your torso is in line with that right leg. So flexing that foot as well, the right foot, so the toes are pointing towards you. Take an inhalation now, raising those arms in line with the ears. And then exhale, start to fold forward, so hands can be either side of the calf, or you can take hold of the foot. And then just breathing into the pose, breathing into that thigh, into that hip. Working on those shoulders as well, so really working on stretching those deltoid muscles on the tops of the shoulders, the rotator cuffs. Breathe. Inhale, raising those arms all the way up. Exhale, release. Okay. Now from here, gently come to lying on your bellies on the mat now. So forehead on the ground, arms either side, and your toes can sort of be roughly pointing into the corners of the mat. So on your next inhalation, lift the forehead and the chest. So you'll notice as you do so, so just breathe, you'll notice the engagement of the muscles on your back, so really becoming aware of your back. Exhale, lower the head. On your next inhalation, lift the head, the chest, the shoulders, and the arms, reaching towards the back of the room. So inhale, lift the head, the chest, the shoulders, and the arms and the hands. Reaching, 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 reaching. Breathe. Exhale, lowering all the way down. On your next inhalation, lift the head, chest, shoulders, arms, and legs. Inhale, lift the head, the chest, the shoulders, the arms, and the legs. You're engaging the whole of the back body. Salambasana, locust pose. Squeeze and breathe at the same time. And then exhale, let it all go down. And then from here, very gently, just rolling yourselves onto your back. And as you roll yourselves onto your back, just gently draw the knees in towards your chest. And as you draw the knees in towards your chest, just gently roll from side to side, just massaging out the back. As you massage out the back, just take note of any sort of sensations that arise, any feelings. Okay, and make any other final movements that you need to. So if you want to come into happy baby pose, so taking hold of the outer edges of your feet, lengthening through your spine, shoulders towards the ground, maybe stretching one leg at a time. Breathe, and then very gently releasing everything down to the ground. So if you want to have a pillow underneath your head, or if you want to have a pillow underneath your knees, just gently let those feet flop out to the sides, arms either side, with the palms facing up. And then I invite you to gently close your eyes or take a light gaze, just taking a few moments now in Shavasana, relaxation. And coming back to that place that we were in at the start of the class. So just reminding yourselves of that external environment. And reminding yourselves of those external sensations. So smells, sounds, temperature. And are they different now compared to the start of the class? And then gently bringing your awareness now to your entire being, your whole body. And how are you feeling now compared to the start of the class? So again, I invite you to scan from your head all the way down to your feet again and back up again. Just observing for any sort of remaining tension that's left in the body. And if there is any sort of remaining tension left in the body, take a deep inhalation through the nose. Inhale, let. And then I'd like you to exhale out the mouth and exhale out, go. So inhale, let. Exhale, go. Inhale, let. Exhale, go. Inhale, let. Exhale, go. And as that remaining tension leaves the body becomes more relaxed. As it becomes more relaxed, it may feel as if it's sinking into the mat, maybe melting into the mat. And with a relaxed body, you have a relaxed breath. So maybe just gently noticing the inhalations and the exhalations, maybe noticing the belly breath. And hopefully you will also have a relaxed mind. So if the mind is still wandering a little bit, just keep coming back to that breath in this present moment. Just keep coming to the breath. I'm just going to allow you now just a few moments here in Shavasana. Your breath is deep, smooth, and continuous. No pauses, no jerks, and no irregularities. With a deep, steady breath, you have a deep, steady body and a deep, steady mind. So gently bringing your awareness now to your whole body, which includes the mind and the breath. And let's just take a few moments here now, just to feel, just to see if there's any sort of tingling sensation that arises. Okay, and let's just remind ourselves of those affirmations we set at the start. Maybe just holding those words close to you as you repeat them just to yourselves in your mind's eye. I am breathing. I am this moment. I am balancing. I breathe in peace. I breathe out love. I am breathing. I am this moment. I am balancing. I breathe in peace. I breathe out love. I am breathing. I am this moment. I am balancing. I breathe in peace. I breathe out love. So just gently letting those words sit with you. Maybe let them circulate around your entire being, your whole body. Let them fill you up. Let them set the tone. Let the words expand outside of your body. And then just gently releasing those words now. And as you release those words, just coming back to the whole body, the breath and the mind. And just gently maybe thanking yourselves for practicing yoga this evening. And then when you're ready, slowly start to wiggle fingers and toes. Okay, and then start to rotate the wrists. And then rotate the ankles. Maybe stretching the arms overhead. Stretching the legs, pointing the toes. Full body stretch. Maybe drawing the knees in towards the chest. Give yourself a big squeeze, hug through give yourself a big hug and then smile through the body. And then gently, when you're ready, just rolling over onto the right hand side into the recovery position, using your right arm as a pillow. Keeping your eyes closed if possible. Just placing your left hand on the ground as well, just taking a few moments here. Okay, and then when you're ready, steadily and slowly push yourselves up into Sukhasana, easy seated pose. So crossing those legs, rolling the shoulders back and down, lengthening through the spine. Gently tuck the chin in. Bring the hands together, rub those hands, creating warmth, creating energy. And then placing the hands over your face, feeling that warmth, feeling that energy. Gently opening your eyes, gazing into the darkness, which is gazing into stillness, which is also gazing into peace, and it's also gazing into oneness. Bringing your hands to heart center. I honor the love and the light in you, because the love and the light is also within me, which is the meaning of Namaste. Namaste, and thank you for practicing with me this evening. And if anyone has any questions, feel free to ask. Otherwise, enjoy the rest of your evening, and hope you all sleep well this evening.